All right, we're going to check out this interview with Thaddeus and Aisha. Let's do this. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Thank you, Christian Gadfly. I always appreciate you. Christian Gadfly is I am laughing AP, even if no one else did. Thank you, Christian Gadfly. Thank you.
AP said, root beer. Root beer is so funny. It's a soda.
I wish Hijab did not behave the way he did. He did not show up the way he did. He didn't do these actions because it did knock me down. It did knock me down faith-wise. I was completely crushed. I had my faith shaken. I pray and I wish if I could see our shuyukh and scholars come out and correct him easy. Just correct him, apologize and correction, and that's it, and move on.
It's kind of a pretty reasonable request, isn't it? Just like, guys, just can you say that what he did was wrong? Can you guys say that? If we have an entire religion where you can't even say that something is wrong, we got a problem here. Then we have a note on the screen. Aisha only agreed to this conversation because I agreed not to mock Islam or Muhammad. Why would you do such a thing? Why would you agree to such a thing? I would have
not in general, just during the interview.
I would have been respectful regardless. I kindly ask that the comment section also be kept respectful. Everyone,
technically,
please.
That's for my video, but I mean, I think it. We're talking about serious issues here. We're talking about the abuse of a woman and her attempt to get justice. It's not the best time for silly jokes.
This is not the time to be like, ha ha, I'll zoot, ha ha, eyes of the leather strap of the ear. No, not time for that, guys. So don't be, be serious for 5 seconds of your lives, everyone, and all your jokes that you come here from AP's channel with.
Yeah, this is a reasonable request. So Aisha only agreed to this conversation because I agreed not to mock Islam or Muhammad. I would have been respectful regardless. I kindly ask that the comment section also be kept respectful. I mean, if she asked me, I would say, all right, get out of here. I'm not doing this. But I understand that Thaddeus is a good guy, so he went ahead with it. It's respectable.
Yeah. I mean, and to be perfectly clear, there's no way I would have been like asking mocking questions about your pervert prophet or something like that in the interview anyway. So it's not like I actually changed the way I approached it in any way.
Yes. So Thaddeus actually handled this entire situation correctly, which is why she talked to Thaddeus and not to AP. AP would be mean and insulting and rude. Anyway, let's check this out.
Welcome back to Reason Answers. Today I have the extreme honor and privilege of interviewing Aisha, that is the woman who Mohammed Hijab tricked into a secret Mishyar marriage. If you're unfamiliar with her story or have missed some of the developments, there's a playlist in the video description that can get you caught up to date. Today, we're going to be talking with her to get an update on how things have progressed and to get her thoughts on how the case has been presented. I'm well aware that she's making a substantial sacrifice coming here today and talking to an enemy of Islam, such as myself, which could open her up to further criticism from the Islamic community. So, welcome to the program, Aisha. Why have you decided to do this interview?
I have decided to come on board on your channel for a few reasons. First, I was astonished and appalled from the reaction of our scholars and shuyukh. Silence was deafening. And I started this whole action of me bringing out what I have gone through, the marriage I have gone through, the divorce I have gone through, because I wanted to make sure that the real picture of Islam is seen. I expected that what Mohammed Hijab is preaching would be corrected, but unfortunately and sadly, that was not the outcome, and that didn't happen. And therefore, that has affected me even more. And we can't, in this scenario, claim that they didn't know about the story. Actually, they did. I'm here after what Salman has put forward on the table, the big sacrifice he's done. He did put his life on hold. He did put his family on hold. Honestly, I am here to echo his efforts. I am here because I have reached out to a few other Muslim channels and they refuse to echo his sacrifice and what the effort he did put forward in his videos. And therefore, I realize you guys are the only ones who are talking about this topic. For me, what Mohammed Hijab has done was an extremely heinous and abhorrent, is the wrong preaching of Islam. Those are crimes and extremely disgusting actions that he did engage in. Considering his position of trust and authority, he has to be called out.
Thanks again for joining me today.
You want to pause it there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
hang on. Wait. You saw this. We are not just ignoring this. Thaddeus' voice reminds me of an airline pilot. That's perfect description. I was trying to think of like psychologist or something like that, but no, airline pilot is a. And if you look out your right window, you see these are the Rocky Mountains, and that's it. That's the voice. All right, sorry about that. Go ahead. Thaddeus.
Yeah, so I just want to be clear. Like, I don't necessarily agree that everything that Mohammed Hijab is against Islam, but I think it is worthwhile highlighting that there is a diversity of opinion within Islam. There's the Salafi interpretation, which is what the Dawa guys generally follow, which we often associate as the Islam or true Islam. And while I would agree with their position that it's probably the closest to what Muhammad taught, it's certainly not what every Muslim around the globe believes. Just like in Christianity, there's a diversity of thought. There's plenty of Muslims who would, as a theological matter, say that what Mohammed Hijab did was wrong.
Any thoughts on this, AP, before I click play?
Well, there is a very the very important part that she just addressed. So it was primarily just about how the Muslim side completely ignored this and tried to look away. She said that the scholars and the sheikhs, the shuyukh, and the others tried to look away and not talk about this and ignore this completely. And she said, as we just heard, that you guys are the only ones talking about this. So this is very interesting, very important stuff here. A Muslim woman is being mistreated and taken advantage of and lied about, and the Muslims are quiet about it because they want to protect their fellow Muslim apologists, or because they're scared of him. I don't know. But we are not scared.
But we are not scared. But we are not shy. Some Muslims are too shy to talk about this, but we are not shy. Hey, look at this. I can't tell if this is a joke or not. Dumb person here says, Diddy Woods, somebody needs to knock you out.
That seems like a serious comment.
Many people have tried. No one's ever managed to actually knock me. I've had the crap kicked out. You know what's funny? I was mentioning to AP the other day, I've been hit in my face hundreds of times. I've been kicked in the head probably 25, 30 times. But no one's ever knocked me out. But the hardest I've ever been hit was by a girl's purse. It was the hardest I've ever been hit. I caught it. The second would be this guy who caught me in the side of the head with an elbow, and it dropped me down to a knee, and it was like stars and stuff like this. But I can say the hardest I ever got hit was this girl swung her purse at me, and she must have had like an iron in there. But the thing had like a 4-foot handle on it and stuff, and she like wound up and swung all around, and I didn't see it coming, and clocked me right in the side of the head. Harder than any guy has ever hit me, and I've been hit a lot. And so, dumb person, that message was for you. You better hit harder than a woman's purse. No guy's ever been able to do it. So good luck to you. Catch me off guard and bring an army.
I agree. Salman has done some great work. He's done something truly brave and special. He's put himself out there, risked criticism so that evil could be exposed, so that justice could be served. That's not something that's easy to do. It's much easier just to remain silent and say, well, it didn't affect me. It's not really my responsibility to talk about this. I'd be much safer not talking about it. And in this case, you also have the serious risk of retaliation from Mohammed Hijab, threats of violence, perhaps even. So commendable work all around. Are you happy with how Salman has handled the case and how your story has been told publicly?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brother Salman had gone himself through whatever trials, which were very shocking, and then a few other individuals as well, like the brother Abu Aya. There is like this pattern that has affected my faith, really. And Salman helped me. He helped me. I was breaking down spiritually. He took time. He did a lot of investigation. He did go through the details, the evidences I provided him. He spoke to many people. So he didn't take it for my word. He has done a very great job.
Absolutely. I agree that Salman has done some amazing work. As the
I don't know why we're talking about this now, but apparently I have to answer it. Why was she attacking you, David? This was dumb. This was at a bus stop in middle school, and I don't remember what she was doing that annoyed me, but I just went and grabbed a random branch from a tree, just a random branch. I pulled it down, and then I came up to her, and I go, this is poison oak. This is poison oak. I'm going to rub it all over your face. You're going to go to school like an idiot with poison oak all over your face. And I went at her, and she acted like she was going to bolt running. I didn't realize she was winding up with that purse. And so I've got this branch in front of me, and all of a sudden she swings around, this purse comes around the side and just whacks me right in the side of the head. And it wasn't completely lights out. I was still conscious, but I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything except for like it's like a cartoon, like stars. Stars going everywhere. Anyway, hope that answers the question, everyone. That was not supposed to be an important rabbit trail to go down. That was a warning for anyone who wants to knock me out. You better come up with something better than a purse or a fist or a boot.
Case has progressed. There have been a number of Muslims who've come out and support private individuals primarily who believe that you have truly been wronged and are completely on your side. But there's also been many Muslims who've come out and, while not necessarily supporting hijab per se, say that you are also in the wrong, perhaps even more in the wrong for revealing this, for bringing the story public, that perhaps the embarrassment brought on the Islamic community is worse than what Mohammed Hijab has done. What would you say to Muslims who hold that opinion?
The big takeaway for me the entire time is basically what Thaddeus was saying, sort of right here. It's, how is she the bad one? Like, how can people look at this whole situation and say she's the bad one? Like, I do not trust anything you say after you look at this whole situation and say she's the bad one. And if the entire ummah is saying that, oh my goodness, don't tell me about your religion ever again. I'm not interested.
That there's something wrong about exposing Mohammed Hijab's deeds.
What Mohammed Hijab has done was not an action to be concealed. This is not a sin that he has committed between him and Allah. This is a sin through which he has harmed somebody's life. And we are not talking here about a little small action of a disagreement. I'm talking about the whole situation, the psychopathic interaction, everything that has followed, the threats, the blackmail, the making up of stories, the slander. There are a lot of details. There are some details that were not even shared with the public. There is a lot going on. There was a lot. He refused to apologize. There was no retraction of the preaching that he's been influencing other men to follow. There was a lot of heinous crimes and actions that happened after I reached out and I tried to get at least some kind of clarity of why did he do this. If he would have apologized and there would have been a correction to what he's been preaching out there to the public, nothing of this would have been, exposed.
Absolutely. Mohammed Hijab is an individual.
I just wanted to point out that is a serious issue, namely that Mohammed Hijab is propped up as this hero of the ummah. And it's not just like now people are getting an idea of how he lives. He's been preaching this stuff, at least elements of it all over the place. And so you've got the hero of the Ummah teaching, this is how you treat women.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's right. This isn't something you just, oh, okay, you wronged me. Let's just move on. It's not just him and the Dawa community that are doing this. I mean, they acknowledge this. They're doing secret polygamous marriages and stuff, and a bunch of these guys are doing it. Hijab said he estimates 85% of the Dawa guys are doing polygamous marriages and so on. It's not just that. These are the guys who are the example for the young generation of Muslims. And they're setting, it's similar to like with Andrew Tate, in that it's not just Andrew Tate who's treating women like this and turning women into his cam girls. He's training other people how to do this. And that's where you have to expose this stuff. So Aisha's right.
Yeah, and I just want to point out what Aisha's doing here, because there is actually this concept in Islam that you're not supposed to reveal sins, right? Allah is the concealer. It's one of his 99 names. A sin that's done in secret, Allah kind of automatically has forgiven. That's why it wasn't revealed. And thus, it's also a sin to reveal crimes, right? To reveal someone's sins. But what Aisha's pointing out is that's not the case here. That because there is a third-party victim herself, she has every right to reveal this situation. She has every right to try to get justice. And she tried to go about it Islamically, right? She tried to go about it in a private setting and not making this a public matter. And they refused, basically. Well, actually, it was set up so that Hijab would apologize, that there would be, some public discussion of this in an anonymous manner. Agreement was made, and then the agreement was broken by Hijab's side. At the last minute, Hijab said, nope, never mind, we're not doing this. And thus, she's justified to reveal it.
Oh yeah, so I was just thinking in terms of like how messed up this is, and this is something you have to expose for the protection of other people. But yeah, that's another issue. They had an agreement. Okay, here's what we will do to solve this problem, and then Hijab's side backs out of the agreement. Okay, this all on you then. She gave you a way to keep what you did quiet. She gave you a way that she was going to keep this in general and just inform people this is what's going on in the Dawa community. Ladies, protect yourselves from these guys. And then they couldn't even go through with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's on you guys. Was it worth it, Hijab? Was it worth it? Now you've been exposed. Ali Dawa's been exposed, and it's not over. And you've been exposed for blackmailing a sheikh and so on.
I'm loving it.
Thaddeus, you've got something to read in your voice here.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're cruising at 10,000 feet over the disaster that is Mimi's love life right now. You can see smoke rising out of the wreckage. We'll just vector around and miss the turbulence.
Now do it. You have to toss in a bunch of random uhs. Okay. We're cruising at 10,000 feet over the disaster.
We're cruising at, 10,000 feet over the disaster that is Mimi's love life right now. And if you look out your window, you can see that the smoke is rising out of the wreckage. But don't worry, everyone. We're not going to fly through that. We'll just take a vector around it and miss all the turbulence that the massive disaster of Mohammed Hijab is causing in the world right now.
Now there's one mistake here. Actually, there are two mistakes here. So mistake one is when you say it, when you speak it, you actually have to avoid any kind of pause. It has to be like completely connected. It's like we're cruising at 10,000 feet over the disaster that is. And also, you have to slur your speech significantly. You have to mumble basically. You're opening your mouth too much.
It's like mumble rap, but an airplane pilot.
Yeah.
Noted.
God bless.
I'll practice for next time.
Good. God bless Ridvan, David, and Thaddeus. Glory to God. And
God bless you, Kieran. God bless you.
Wanted to check this one out. Do you think this is the end of Mohammed Hijab's and Ali Dawa's careers, or do you think the Roaches will survive? No, this is not the end of their careers. they could go down for the rest of their lives denying that ever happened. And it could be exposed 1,000,000 times as much as they're exposed right now. That's not the end of their careers.
Yep.
Just wanted to be clear on that. All right.
Jill, that's worthy.
But I want to counter that, actually, David.
Well-
I agree. Their careers are definitely not over. There'll be plenty of people who support them no matter what. But I think that there's a reason that Mohammed Hijab reacted the way he did, and he is afraid that this could actually be damaging. Now, it would end his career, but if he lost, 5% of his followers and 5% of his income, he would care about that. And I think that is actually.
Oh, no. It's going to. If you ask, is it going to damage him? Yes. Yes, it's going to cause problems with both their wives. It's going to cause problems. They're not going to be able to go anywhere without people making fun of them. I'm just saying their loyal fan base is still going to be their loyal fan base because their loyal fan base does not care about women or any of this stuff. So as long as they have that loyal fan base, it's like Andrew. It doesn't matter how much the guy's exposed. That fan base is still. It's basically cult-like. It's cult-like. They've rallied around a person. And that person, for them, can do no wrong. With everyone else in the world, Hijab and Ali Dawah are going to be a joke. They're going to be a joke and a laughing stock. So no, just to be clear, this is going to do damage, serious damage to them. It is not going to destroy their careers because at the end of the day, the loyal cult-like fan base does not care what they do. Yeah.
Hey, Apostle of Allah just made a very interesting, very good point. She also added to the whole pilot thing that you also have to be like extremely close to your microphone.
Oh, that's a good point.
Okay, noted.
That was true. That was true. Everyone's getting really, really good insights on how to imitate a pilot. This is good stuff. All right.
But I would also add that there's more at stake here than just Mohammed Hijab. As he's seen as a representative of Islam, his actions reflect not just on himself, but on the religion as a whole. There are Muslims who will go further and say that the majority of the fault, or perhaps even all of the fault, lies with you. That by going public, you're suggesting that Mohammed Hijab is the only person to blame for this situation. How would you respond to such claims?
I spoke to my father. It was me who convinced my father and told him hijab is worthy of trust in a matter of marriage, basically. This is a man who's been married for a long time. He's got his own children. This was my own evaluation. Hijab has been fighting for Islam. He's been praised in so many organizations and institutes and mosques. So I convinced my father. It was me who convinced him, and this is why I feel the guilt. This is one of the reasons that has pushed me to come out public and expose this, because I convinced my father based on the fact that hijab is worthy of trust. But what happened after the marriage was abhorrent. It was shocking. It was not just a tiny little misunderstanding or a disagreement. So for me, this was not just a personal experience. This is an Islamic duty to come out and expose what hijab has done with the intention of there to be a correction for what he's preaching.
Well, regardless of what any Muslims may say, I personally believe that you are very brave and that you've done something very good coming forward and telling your story and exposing the truth about the actions of Mohammed Hijab. It takes a lot of courage to come and tell your story, knowing that people will criticize you, knowing that people will doubt you, knowing that people will be against you, and so much more so when the perpetrator of an action is a famous individual, is a powerful individual like Hijab. So what you've done is very important and very brave. So my next question to you is, what motivates you? What drives you? What keeps you moving forward with people like Mohammed Hijab fanboys coming out and opposing you and saying nasty things about you in public? What allows you to continue this fight?
The truth. The truth pushes me forward. And I am genuinely and honestly ready for absolutely everything and anything. Nothing could possibly faze me. Nothing. Why? Because I know that every single claim I made is true. And because I did go through the fire of not being capable of getting hold of every single evidence to every detail of what I have gone through. It did burn me. When you go through a lot and then you are only left with the little crumbs of whatever left over, you are trying to put them together and put forward your case, and you say, like, I'm saying the truth. And then the other party, what Mohammed Hijab has done, has enlightened even further fire inside me of resilience, because he started fabricating things, lying. He didn't apologize. He didn't admit any of the things that he's done. He's fabricated things. He's spread lies. And honestly, these are things that I couldn't just remain silent in front of all these things.
The truth is a very
You wanna
powerful
pause
motivator
there?
indeed, and a great
What'd you say?
I said, do you want to pause there? So Aisha here is kind of. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was she just talking about?
Stop chatting with the chat and then focus on the conversation.
I
Talking
know,
about-
I know.
You asked what motivated her. She says she's got the truth on her side. And stuff.
Yeah, the truth. But what I want to talk about, I remember now, is that she says, like, absolutely nothing could stop me here, right? And I know this to be true, right? Because I've actually been talking to her for a good while, and I tried to kind of dissuade her, right, saying that this is very risky, right? I mean, I would love to have it.
You
I'd
mean
love
what?
to
You mean
interview
doing an
or-
interview with you? Would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
That is it's like giving ammunition to her critics, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm happy to support you behind the scenes. I mean, I'd love to do the interview, but this isn't about me. It's not about my channel getting views or whatever. I want to do what's right for you. And so I tried to tell her that, are you sure, right? Are you really sure you want to do this? And she's like, I got nothing to lose. The people in Islam, they're not listening. I feel like this is going nowhere. I had hopes that when Salman did it, that there'd be a response, but there pretty much hasn't been. So she absolutely cannot be dissuaded, right? No amount of threats is going to work. All the tactics that Hijab would use, trying to embarrass her, trying to threaten her, sending goons after her, none of this is going to work against her. And then the other point she's saying there is that there's actually a lot more, right? Hijab actually did a lot more, but the only thing she talked about in public was what she had proof of from screenshots later on, because during their relationship, Mohammed Hijab had the text messages set on auto delete. So she no longer has those. So she hasn't talked about everything he did to her, only the things that she actually had evidence for.
So just to be clear, and she was kind of talking about, I think she said this. There's all kinds of other things. She's only pointing out the stuff that she can prove.
Yep. Yeah, she did say that, but I just wanted to make it clear that's what she means by I have these little nuggets or whatever her exact words were. And it's really difficult when you only have these few little things and you got to fight for what's right. That's what she's talking about, that she didn't testify to things that he did to her that she doesn't have any record of.
Reason to continue this fight. We've seen what you could call a response from Mohammed Hijab. Certainly, he's aware of what's been said about him. Certainly, he's
crapping his
aware
pants.
that people in the Islamic community don't like what he's done. But he's chosen to hide. Hide behind an AI narrator, hide behind his friends, but not say anything with his own voice.
And you know what's crazy? Like, you can imagine, since his biggest fear is his wife finding out about this and taking away and leaving him again and taking away his kids, it's he's got to like make sure that she never comes across behind veils and all the actual evidence. And so what's he telling her? Oh, this is all lies. This is all lies. This has all been exposed. Look, we've got the secret AI the confession that we recorded. We've got her recorded and here's this Photoshop. Here's this screenshot that we've got. So this is mainly to dupe his wife. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, what are you laughing at, man? This is not funny. This is serious stuff. It is
stupid and messed up, but you know what this reminds me of? In It's Always Fun. It's Always Sunny. There's this thing called the dentist system. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, dude.
There should be a hijab system.
Yeah, the hijab system. We do need that. Yeah, Thaddeus, you don't know that there's a show there. You can find a video of the Dennis system on YouTube, but it's Dennis, who's a total psychopath on the show, and he's got this method for seducing women and then getting them to fall in love with you and then be obsessed with you forever, even after you kick them to the curb. He's got an entire system of like horrible manipulation and stuff. But yeah, that does remind. We need a hijab system of Mohammed Hijab. Him explaining this